So this is Andrew Hazlett, and
Sharon Paley.
we're from the GBTC, and we are in the midst of our No More Box tour of Baltimore companies and individuals doing cool things. And where are we today?
You are at our office and secret house at Friends of the Web HQ on Bank Street in beautiful sunny Fells Point.
And you're Andy Mangold.
I am Andy Mangold, yeah.
And you're one of the Friends of the Web.
One of the 4 Friends of the Web, yep.
And so what do you guys do? What's your racket?
We make websites and mobile applications and other stuff for the screen. Some of it is for other people, for client work, do some service work, and some of it's for ourselves, trying to build our own products that hopefully we can make useful to people and maybe someday can support us, fingers crossed. Trying to shoot for that dream like everyone else in the world. Yeah.
And how long have you been doing this?
It's an interesting question. So, 3 of us have been doing this since late middle school, early high school. So I guess going on 7 years for that. 7 or 8 years. But the official Friends of the Web company started this past May, so just 9 months, 8 months or so. And it's gone really fast. Really, really fast.
What are some examples of the sites you've built, apps you've built?
A lot of our work, not so much by choice, but just because how it turned out, focuses around making information more available and more fun to sort of access. I think there's a big call for different tools and ways to curate all the information that's out there today. Thanks to the internet, there's so much data. There's people looking for ways to sort it and make sense of it. So we're working on an iPad application right now that is sort of a fun, more spatial way to visualize and explore Wikipedia that links the pages together with physical links for every time there's an in-text link to another Wikipedia page. No official name for that yet. One of the big products we're working on is called CrowdStorms, and that's a collaborative list-making tool. So you start a list, you tweet it out to some people, and anybody can go ahead and add stuff to that list to help you brainstorm or to help you, sort of wrap your head around a certain idea. And the second big part of that is we're taking all of those lists and we're sort of cross-referencing them to sort of build this kind of associative database. So you start off looking at one list and it turns out, you actually meant your sort of tangential list. It's a way to explore sort of ideas and words and the different associative power they have in our society. So that's some of the big stuff we're working on right now. The stuff we're most passionate about is the stuff that we do for ourselves. And a lot of it seems to revolve around making information more accessible and fun, kind of bringing in an aspect of like a game to exploring stuff and learning in a vague sense.
And so you guys are have established a business. You're living and working out of a row house, and with some awesome posters in the background, which everybody should check out. Maybe we'll take a quick peek of some of those.
Pan to the workspace.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of the friends at work.
I get to talk because they have way more important things to do. They're actually doing stuff that's important. I'm over here making shapes and colors. So.
Cool. And you're a MICA graduate?
Yeah. So Anthony and I are both graduates of MICA. Graduated this past spring. I majored in graphic design, and Anthony majored in information and media design. What's it called now?
Interaction design.
Interaction design is what it's called now, I guess. They keep changing the name.
Well, it's different now. That's what it was when I graduated.
When he graduated, it was interaction design. It's different now. Either way, he majored in a smaller major that's about sort of an interactive way to explore data and stuff. But yeah, and then Josh and Dan, the other 2 members of Friends of the Web, both went to Penn State and studied more information sciences and technology, so more of the technical side of things and how that interfaces with humans. So we have a sort of broad scope and skill set amongst the 4 of us, which we think is one of our strengths. We all do different things, but we're able to communicate really well with each other because we've known each other for decades.
So why are you in Baltimore?
We are in Baltimore, I think partially because Anthony and I sort of fell in love with it, going to school here. It's a great city, and we're also here, I think, because we're here because it's cheap, too, we're not going to lie. It's cheap, so we can afford to take a little less service work and spend some more time working on our products and still have a nice house we can afford to rent and all that fun stuff. And also, I think Baltimore is more accessible than a lot of big cities that are doing some work in this sort of field. Education Hack Day is a good example. There were teachers and administrators and principals and students at that sort of event. And some of the stuff that got made at that Hack Day is actually going into practice now because the education system is sort of open to suggestions here. It's more accessible than it would be in New York or somewhere like that where everything's sort of heavily bureaucratized. So I think there's real potential to engage with the community and engage with people and make relevant stuff here and more quickly than you could in a bigger city, I think. But at the same time, it's really well located, so when we do have to get to New York for some event, it's a $17 bus ride. So it's the best of all the worlds right now. We get to go to the events in New York and then get on a bus and come back to our real house that we pay less for than you would get a small studio apartment, in Manhattan. So I think it works out nicely for us now. It's a good place to grow and start out something, which is what we're doing. So. Yeah.
What are your next steps? What's your plan right now?
Oh boy, what's the plan right now?
Because you guys are pretty busy with just about all the work you can handle, right?
Yeah, so we are busy. We're always trying to strike a balance between how much service work we do and how much product work we do. And I think in the next year, a couple years, we're really trying to get a product that's really useful, that we can build that really helps people, that can support us, so we can focus our efforts on one or two projects instead of being spread so thin. And we'd like to get out of the service industry soonish if we can, for the most part. We think we're better suited to solve problems that we directly have as opposed to solving problems that our clients' customers have. So yeah, I think that we're still always trying to strike that balance of how much client work do we take, how much time do we spend working on our own products, and I think we finally got to a point where we're sort of balanced well now, where we can sustain this for a little while, and hopefully one of these products will take off for us.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. So where can people go to look for examples of your work, see what projects you have in progress?
Yeah, we have a website, www.friendsoftheweb.com. Stupid domain costs us a lot of money.
But that's http://
Yeah, don't forget the colon and the double slash. That's our internet website in the tubes. We also have a Twitter account at Friends of the Web, where we tweet what's going on in the office, or you follow us individually. We sort of reserve the company stuff for like big announcements, but the four of us independently will have smaller little updates here and there. Yeah, that's where we're at on the tubes.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll see you around, and thank you for hosting us today. And
Great, thanks a lot. It was good to have you guys.